no, there wasn't any bullying because, well, there was obviously a small bit. You get it everywhere. Walking on the street, people could shout at you if you're holding a guy's hand, or I don't know, just the small things that you live with. But it's just natural, like now, because that's society, and you just kind of have to live with it. So it doesn't. I don't hear it anymore. Um, like my friends could say to me, "Did you hear what they said about you?" And I'd be like, I literally couldn't actually hear it because I don't know. I'm just so used to blocking it out. Hey, um, this is Lockheed garage right here, and this is where I get my sausages and hash browns on a Monday morning, which is Monday today. Um, so I got my hash browns and sausages today, and I ate them with a bit of ketchup. It's lovely. Like this is something from my course now. Yeah, we have don't mind that. That's a display unit. This is a girl called Lizanne. She's she used laser cutting for all these little pieces, and I forget. Or there's always a statement. These are all show spaces, so you can show your work around. Uh, so yeah, so she like laser cut it out, and then all the bits are there, obviously. I don't know what it's about. Something about Limerick anyway. And she knitted all these on that machine that you've seen. And then she used acetate and did all this kind of graphic stuff. I don't know what the mirror's about. I didn't properly ask her, but see, look, use your camera and go through that. Look at this. And then like, it's when you walk through it like this, that's what her thing is about. The different shapes you see and all that madness. It's like abstract kind of stuff. Oh look, it's lashing out. I was into why doing my bits, and my art teacher came up to me and she asked me if I'd like to enter this competition, a fashion competition, and I was like, what the hell? Okay. I'll think about it, I said, and I was like, I looked at the magazine, I thought it was very intimidating looking at the garments. So I put it off for a good while and left it at that. And I remember it was coming up to, I'd say there was like 2 months left to actually sign up and get your dress finished. And I was like, oh God. So I went up to Miss Prendergast and I was like, here, I feel like I should do this. So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to need help. And I need like a team of people. So she sorted a team, it was grand. So I was basically creative director for the whole garment that I made. Well, you know, the team and I made. I designed it for the competition, and you know, went through the whole process of the competition, and we ended up winning regional final, a few prizes for the secondary school, and I won like designer of the year, a young designer of the year award, and the overall title, and a scholarship to study in the course I'm studying right now, which I'm currently still benefiting from. I didn't really know what it was. I just kind of knew I liked feminine things, and I didn't know until I think it was primary school. I was in like the gym. No, I was playing. What was I doing? PE, gymnastics, and then I started fancying a fella, and I was like, oh, look at him now. And oh my God, his name was John, and he had freckles. State of him now when I think back. Oh Jesus. The things I did differently as a child, I had no idea that I was doing it differently because I was just doing what I liked. Same then, same as now. I don't care what other people do. I only do my own thing. So you would be playing like action men, action figures, and sure I'd be playing with, I don't know, not knowing a thing with me freaking what was that shop called? The News Agents. The News Agent Barbies. Yeah, they were something. I'd be playing with them, and then sure, I'd be nicking your Action Man and playing house and all that shit. So I don't know. I liked attention. So I'd be doing art to get attention. And then when I liked attention, I went to secondary school, and then the whole gay thing came out. Well, I told one of my friends I was gay once. I started telling one of my friends because I knew I wasn't. I was like, sure, I might as well tell someone. Why not? And she was like, all right, whatever. And of course, in primary school, gossip is wildfire. So I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to if I'm gay, I'm gonna have to do the gay thing. So, acting all what I'm not actually like. And yeah, I was just basically annoying. Went in college, and basically I am in you can see all the different sexualities that people could have. There's so many varieties in college now that I'm just like, sure, who am I trying to impress? Like some TV programs, you'd see them all throwing glitter and screaming at each other, and now looking at that, I'm just like, that's just stupid. Like, it's just annoying. Like, just because I like fellas doesn't mean I'm an entertainer. Like, now being in a all boys school in Dublin had nothing to do with my sexuality. Trust me. Okay. I had no freaking thing. I am a late bloomer, so no, it wasn't. I like dolls since whenever. Not saying that you have to like dolls to be freaking liking the same gender. So if you like pink, you like pink, I say. Pink isn't a girl's colour, nor is blue a guy's colour. So there you go. I just knew since primary school in Dublin, and then I was like, alright, I like fellas, didn't think getting all that. And then I started watching YouTube videos, and then people made such a big deal about it. So then I would naturally think it's a big deal, and I was going to be thrown out of the house, which obviously I wasn't. I think mum and dad would have known. Well, see, when I came out, I thought that mum and dad didn't have a clue, and that was the straightest thing going when I was tippy-toeing around the town with my highlighter that I thought no one could see, only me. When I told mum, she was like, sure, I knew when you were 2 years old tippy-toeing around the puddle in the garden. She turned to dad and she was like, he's 100% a homosexual. And dad was like, that's shocking, don't say that. And she was like, I'm just saying. When I found out they were splitting up, I was like, alright, grand, 2 houses, 2 rooms, everything's double, 2 Christmases. I was happy out. To be honest, I was more upset about my hamster dying than my parents splitting up. It's their life, so it's not mine, to be honest. So I live mine and they live theirs. So I don't, in secondary school, sure, that's after primary school, so of course I didn't know what I was at, and I was trying to entertain everyone with the gay thing, because there was only 2 people who were openly gay in secondary school in Roscommon. So I was trying to be that. Yes, bitch, oh my god, oh, shit. Entertain them, and everyone would be like, yes, oh my god, he's great. And now it's a teacher with a bigger connection, I say Susan Prendergast. She was great. She never actually, because it's hard to talk about that stuff at that age, she never actually directly said anything about it. She just threw hints that's okay for this scenario, and if anyone's annoying you in whatever scenario, just come to me and we'd kind of talk in code. But not code, but you'd get the point across without actually directly saying it when it's too hard to say. But in secondary school, I came out in primary school, so everyone kind of knew during secondary school, and I made a defense kind of thing. If anyone did pick on me, I'd make a scene and be like, oh, I know what you really are. I know what you said to me outside that no one else knows, because nobody else could say anything about it. So I just kind of take the piss out of them if they took the piss out of me, and they'd be kind of afraid to bully me. The first person I told was a girl called Laura. I don't know what she's doing now. I haven't talked to her in ages. I never said I just said I like fellas, and she's like, alright, who do you like? I was like, alright, cool. But when I told mom, I didn't actually tell her, because I didn't feel like I needed to, because I don't know, I didn't see it as a big deal. But anyway, I was actually going to a teenage disco, and I was getting ready at the girl's house. They're like, I hear Luke, will you throw on a dress down? I was like, oh Jesus Christ. I threw on the dress, one of them took a photo, and I was like, oh God, because this is when Snapchat was starting to be a thing. Oh God, I'm so old. Photos went up about the night on Facebook, but there was no dress photos because I had them warned. And then someone put it in the comment section, and I was like, oh Jesus Christ. And then Mum called me down. I was like, here, what's this about? And then we just started talking. I started bawling, crying. And then she was like, oh, is it because of that? And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, that's grand. Cop on. And then that was it, really. I just kind of felt like there was a weight lifted. That was about it. Because I knew I had to. I knew I didn't have to say it. But from watching all the YouTube videos, I'd be like, do I have to say it or do I not have to say it? So if it was then now, I wouldn't at all. My relationship to my dad compared to Mum is kind of similar, bar talking about same-sex things. It's a tiny bit awkward with Dad because I don't really know how he will respond to it because I haven't actually told him. I didn't feel the need to tell either of them. I just kind of told Mum. So leaving it this long, I'm kind of more nervous now to tell him, just to let him know that I am. So I don't feel like I have to, but I feel like I should because they're not getting any younger. So.
Well, Luke was he always seemed to amuse himself. He was mad into colour, and he'd always loved to draw pictures, and ever since he was small, he'd be the type of child he'd sit in the corner and he'd draw a picture, or he'd make something. He'd make something out of nothing, out of matchsticks, out of paper, out of cardboard, you name it. And nearly every day he'd make something, or he'd draw something, one or the other. Yeah, he was very sociable as a kid, but when he was doing art, you had to leave him alone. He was just totally focused on what he had to do in his own little mind. But yeah, he was great to hold a conversation, and he was a very friendly child when he was small, as he grew up then. Oh yeah, he's very, very easy to make friends with, and yeah, he had a lot of friends. Yeah, a lot of people liked him, girls, boys, you name it. He's very, very popular. When he got a bit older, then the school approached us and asked us could we put him into a special school because he was so advanced at his art. Because when he was in, say, first class in national school, he had the creativity and like art skills of someone in 5th or 6th class, and they wanted to put him in a special school, like for geniuses, this sort of way. So like an advanced brain in that area. And we said no, because he'd miss out that growth time between 2nd class and 6th class. So we let him grow in the classes that he was doing, and then wait then until the time was right for him to go to college. Luke's mother and I separated when Luke was 10, and then Luke moved to Roscommon, County Roscommon. So did it affect him in any way? I'm sure it did emotionally, yeah, at the time, because it's quite upsetting when anybody separates or a family splits up. But I think that Luke, being the kind of child that he was and still is, well, he's an adult now, but his creative side came out in him even more, because his mother moved to Roscommon, and that's where Luke entered Junkature and was coached on by his art teacher, Miss Prendergast. Luke wouldn't have had that opportunity had he stayed in Dublin. And then Dublin is a much busier place, so I don't think Luke would have had as much time to be as creative as he has become had he stayed in Dublin. Everything happens for a reason, I think. And I think Luke's done very well for himself. Do I have a good relationship with Luke? Yes, I do, of course, yeah. We always meet up every few weeks, and I go down to Limerick to him, or he comes up to me. But I can see Luke going places, definitely. I can see him possibly moving out of Ireland. He's going to New York now in the summer. I am a bit worried about him going there.
I dated a guy who was Polish, and I held his hand in Roscommon and literally got so much abuse in the street. It was shocking, and I was like, oh my God. had the same scenario later in Carlow, and it was so much different. Like the whole like affection thing in public. I don't know. I just Limerick is, I don't know, way more accepting than my hometown to live in, because in 2015, the equality referendum, every county, like majority of all counties voted yes, bar Roscommon. So after that, I was just like, here, I need out of this place. So when I eventually came to Limerick, I started to realise the difference in the acceptance and how kind of sheltered I was from my community. So from the experience in Limerick, I can see now how so many people put on performance for the heterosexual folk among us. I'm only mess. And I just see that there's no need to be a clown when you like fellas and you're the same gender. So, you know, just be yourself. There's no need to be acting stupid. I don't know, the friends group I would have in Roscommon, as everyone in secondary school, they're not, you know, the bestest of friends. As most people from secondary school, you rarely find a friend who's, you know, there the whole way through. You're like, you know, you're deathbed. So sure, I'm in college and I don't know even if, sure, you think in the moment that your friends that you currently have are going to be there till the end. So I don't know what's happening, but from experience from Roscommon to college, my friends right now are a lot nicer than what I thought I had in Roscommon. So yeah, I'm much more happier in the way things are going now than when I was in secondary school, as most people. For the experience of coming to college and the whole coming out scenario thing again, because you kind of, every new person you meet, you kind of, it's like you have to come out again. I'm just not arsed. It's either like you guess or you don't guess. Sure, I'm not taking you to bed, so I don't really care. Sorry. When I first moved into my student accommodation, I don't know, I was really nervous, as a lot of first years are, and I unpacked all my stuff, started decorating my room, and I was actually so nervous to meet my roommates. I started leaving notes. I left a note on the kitchen table, like greeting them, letting them know who I am and whatever. And I got a response to my door, and one of my roommates, Ruth, actually wrote me a note replying. It's actually on the wall there. She said, "Hey Luke, thanks for the donuts," because I got them all donuts as like a greeting thing. I got them in Asda. She was like, "Thanks for the donuts." They were out of date as well, so don't tell her. "Thanks for the donuts. Sorry I hadn't met you yet. I've been running in and out of the apartment. I should be back at 11 and I would love to meet you." Like, that's lovely. She's from South Africa. She put like a little bullet list. She said, "My name is Rue. I'm from South Africa and I love donuts." So my first opinion of her was like, "Oh my god, class. Foreign roommate." And yeah, she's lovely. She's actually nicer than I thought she would be. So yeah, when I first met her, I don't know, I felt like college was like a fresh start. So I was like, here, you know, I'm just gonna go with it. So I didn't actually have to come out to her at all. She just obviously assumed, and we just went with that. Nights out, just got the vibe, and then, you know, sure, I don't really have to tell people anymore. Like, when you wear eyelashes, they just kind of presume, and I'm just like, all right. And some days I look proper straight, and people that don't have a clue, and I'm just like, all right, well, I'm not getting dressed for you, so I get dressed for myself. And I do makeup as if in like kind of therapy for me to zone out, like someone painting a picture, but I just do it because I like it. And some days I'm in bits, and some days I look class. So that's me. Very boring, but I'm kind of like in my own world. Everyone's in their own world, so there's no point in dwelling on what you think someone else should be to make you happy. I do think that people need to be more educated on the streets, and the society needs to come speed up a small bit in this, like the sexuality kind of spectrum of things, and kind of not bat an eyelid to any madness and just be like, oh, that's class. because I don't know, I on the street, if I see anything kind of iffy, well, not iffy, kind of non-traditional, I just wouldn't think about it. Like if someone was dressed in a cow suit walking in the street, I'd be like, she's class, oh my god, or he's class. So I don't know, when I see people making comments about something like a woman looking masculine or a man looking feminine, I just think they're just uneducated and they come across as very, I don't know, what would you call them without being rude? Just uneducated, I'd say, to be safe, because they need to go online and start seeing what the world is really like, bar their little bubble of Hun friends. So yeah, I don't feel like there should be that pressure anymore to come out, because for me it's not a big deal anymore, because sure, no one cares how you like your eggs, so why should they care what you prefer in the, you know? So you get me? It's none of their really business, you know, they're not marrying you. So I'm afraid to tell Dad, because Dad is more of a traditional type of a person, and he's more, you know, God said this kind of thing. So I don't know. I don't know really. It's hard in that regard, to be honest. How it would be different if I did tell him would be, I don't know. He'd probably talk less or something. He'd probably, you know, I don't know. I'm just afraid. Hey Dad. You busy?
I'm just watching the telly.
What's on?
It's just a troll around.
Drama thing.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to watch it? Or do you want to watch something on the telly?
Maybe in a minute. Would you mind if... Could I talk to you for a minute there?
What do you want?
There's been something on my mind last while that I need to talk to you. It might not be a big deal, or it might, I don't really know. But it's like a personal thing that I've been struggling with, and I don't know how to tell you. I told Mum, and she told me to wait a while.
I'm going to tell your mum.
I'd say a month ago, and this whole trip is kind of about this. So I
Alright.
mainly came down to tell you that I don't really like girls,
Okay.
and I'm kind of for the same gender.
Yeah.
Well, kind of, I mean, I am.
So you like guys?
Yeah, I like guys.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you feel about that, but that's,
It's what you feel.
yeah, well, that's how I am. And it's fine if you don't accept me, or if you do.
Don't be silly. It's fine.
There you go now.
Give us a hug then.
Okay.
Alright?
There you go.
You have a boyfriend, like
No. Maybe
Yeah.
a few toy boys, but that's about it.
toy boy.
Money mess. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan.
It's okay. You've already worked yourself up
Yeah, I
to
think
build
loads
up to
of- I
say,
did loads of
how am I
research
going
on
to
that.
say this?
I don't know.
Yeah. And what did your mum say when you told her?
She got excited and was like, "Wow, we can go shopping." And I was like, "It's not
Yeah.
that. Oh my god,
It's
that."
not that, buy everything.
Yeah. I'm not
Oh,
a
man.
fashion stylist now.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. It's all acceptable now.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's great.
So
At least you told me, you know.